Well, it was a rough week last week for students and parents across our region, as reports of threats were made to several different school districts. As of today, there were 138 reported threats in West Virginia at 69 schools in 33 different counties, including Boone, Mingo, Kanawha, Cabell, Mason, Putnam, Roane, and Wood counties. 10 people have since been charged for these incidents. Now, some schools decided to cancel classes while others stayed open with heightened security. The threats also caused the South Charleston-Morgantown football game to be moved from Friday night to Saturday afternoon. In Kanawha County, the prosecutor tells us 2 more students have been charged in the threat investigation. Prosecutor Deborah Rusnick says this makes 4 total students charged since last week. Today's charges are in connection to threats at Elkview Middle School. She tells us 2 8th graders at the school were involved.
We are obviously urging students to report the things they hear that are concerning to them. Also to show your parents. If you are coming across things that are threatening or concerning, show your parents and have your parents report it to authorities.
At South Charleston High School, students went on lockdown after ammunition was found in the bathroom. Police tell us no weapon was found after they did a thorough search that also included bringing in a K-9. Police say they stepped up security as the lockdown was lifted late this afternoon. And we spoke with one parent about what she experienced when she was waiting for her child.
My head wasn't in it the whole time until I was allowed to come get him. It's just, these are our children. We have plenty of children, but none to spare, you know. You don't think it's going to happen in your little hometown. It's when. It's not if, it's when.
And the volume of threats is the main reason why Governor Jim Justice called for the formation of a task force to address this. Anna Saunders is live in the studio with what task they have before them. Anna.
Gina, the newly created School Safety Task Force is headed up by Homeland Security and made up of several state and law enforcement agencies. They met for the first time on Friday and are in the process of compiling all of the threats to better understand where they came from and how they can be addressed. West Virginia Department of Homeland Security Deputy Secretary Rob Cunningham said the threats continue to come in over the weekend and even into Monday. But as the Fusion Center takes in each threat and investigates it, majority of what they've seen have been duplicates.
And they're breaking down the analytics, and they're finding, you know, a lot of these threats are the same threat. They're being duplicated, just changing the schools.
But by having multiple agencies now part of a task force, they can better tease out these threats to see what came from out of state, what was swatting, and what came from an individual in the state. It can also help them track if people have been charged and arrested.
You know, a lot of times we can pinpoint these social media posts down to who made them. You know, so and that's how we're getting to the point where we're getting some people charged and hopefully prosecuted.
This was all part of a nationwide trend this past week as school systems were bombarded with threats, prompting closures and increased law enforcement presence at schools.
Yeah, I'm not seeing where anything's been specifically identified, but I know historically when you've had an event like the mass murder in Georgia, you'll see an uptick in threats and postings online.
The Department of Homeland Security encouraging people, especially students, to not repost threats that can make it harder to track back. The best thing to do if you see one is to report it either through the CSend app or law enforcement.
So we can get that information funneled to where it needs to be so we can evaluate the threat and give the investigators the tools they need.
Now, Cunningham did say that Governor Justice sent a letter to the social media platforms asking for help on this. Cunningham said the platforms have been really helpful trying to help them in their investigation and to put a stop to the reposting of fake threats. Live in the studio, Anna Saunders, Eyewitness News.